listen. And as we always do, we want to remind you that this show is for you. We want to know what it is you want to see here on Horse Talk Live. We're all horse lovers. Anything that has to do with horses, we want to talk about it. We want to know what you want to hear. So send us an email at horses@rfdtv.com. We can check those. We'll pay attention to what it is you want to see, like we did today. Somebody had emailed us and said that they want to see more women horse trainers. We've had a few, not enough. So we've changed that. And today I have Dale Rudin, and she is my guest. She is a horsewoman, and we are proud to have her on the show today. So thanks for coming, Dale.
Thanks for having me.
Dale, horses are your life. This is how you make a living, but this is also what brings you happiness.
Yes, that's absolutely true. They have for a lot of years.
Good. And so tell us a little bit about how you got started and why it is that they've been a part of your life forever.
You know, as a child, my dad used to take me riding. He had a love of horses. And I think I actually remember that first pony ride where they strap you into the saddle and you go in the circle. So I think my dad realized at that point that he was in a little bit of trouble financially, and he started working harder.
Well, I think a lot of dads go through that. I know my dad did for sure. He realized it wasn't just a phase when my sister and I were pretty much completely obsessed, and that's all we wanted to do. And but you've taken it further than most people do, and you're able to make a living at helping people with their horses. And that's really what sets you apart from a lot of people, because a lot of us do it for pleasure, myself included, and for fun. And but there's some things that you found over the years, and you've educated yourself, and now you're able to educate other people. Is that what is your main goal these days with horses?
Yeah, that's true. And going back to the early days, really everything I do, I want to learn how to do it the best way I can, whatever whatever that means. And horses are unique in that you can continue to learn for years and years and years, and continue to evolve. And so when I first started, I had a trainer like everybody else. I was a teenager, and there were things about the process that I wasn't happy with, mostly because I knew that my horse wasn't enjoying the process, and he wasn't very happy. So my goal, now is to make sure that even though we're asking our horses to perform, and do things for us, whether it's just go on a pleasure ride or compete, at high level jumping or endurance, that we're giving them all the tools that they need to do their job well, and to do it in a way that they feel comfortable physically and emotionally.
Very important. All of us horse lovers want to make sure, and we should make sure, that our horses are comfortable and that they want to do what it is we're asking them to do, and develop a partnership. It's very crucial. And being a woman, I think we're a little bit more inclined to make sure that that happens.
I think so.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Well, so what about, we all learn from people, but our horses are really the ones that are teaching us. And I think we've all had those horses that we feel extremely sorry for, because they were the ones that had to take all the mistakes we made, and they dealt with it, but they taught us. And so you had a few of those horses that really taught you the most.
I did. And the second horse that I had when I was a child, my first show horse, Weasel, was one of those that taught me a lot. And what I saw as I was going to the barn and riding him and schooling him to show was that his environment wasn't, it was causing him undue stress. The methods were, this was a long time ago, things have definitely evolved, but it does still happen where we focus on the goal. And I was showing him in Western Pleasure and equitation classes. So the goal was for him to go around the rail and hold his head in a certain place and go a certain speed. And he was either in his stall or he was out on the rail doing that. And so there was no range of motion in his body. He was cooped up all day and then asked to do something that was stressful for him. Slow speeds all the time. I learned in retraining him, I did a lot of extended work with him and bending and flexing, and we didn't work on the rail, so that he could learn not only how to respond to me better and more comfortably, but that he could become physically conditioned to do the job that I was asking him to do. Originally, he was just being forced, And then I started having performance problems. He was bucking in his classes, and when I would come to see him, where he used to whinny and be excited to see me, he would stand in the corner of his stall and say, I don't want to do this anymore. And, you know, horses have such an amazing nature, and they're willing to you know, do things for us, but sometimes we, I think, do that in a way that is to their, you know, detriment.
Sure.
So what I do, my main goal now when I'm working with a horse and showing people how to work with their horses, is to make sure that we're benefiting the horse. And when the horse is comfortable and he's in a relaxed state of mind, ask him to do anything, he'll do it. He can do it, and it's easy for him.
Well, I think that is kind of your whole philosophy here, is making sure that the horse is comfortable and is a willing partner.
Yeah.
And you know, I think, like I said, everybody has a horse like Weasel that you learned from, and you didn't give up. You didn't just go get another horse. And a lot of us can't just go get another horse. So we need to find somebody, you know, around us that can help us retrain, transform, better connect with that horse, because we don't want to give up on them, but there's ways to go about things differently to achieve that same goal, you know, and making that horse comfortable is very important. So you're making them comfortable. What is another basic characteristic of your horsemanship program then? Besides making them comfortable, are you looking for them to carry themselves in a certain way?
There are a couple, you know, real fundamental aspects of what I do. One is that they're soft, that their mind is relaxed. Because if a horse, you know, a horse is either relaxed and in a receptive state of mind, or they're feeling stressed and anxious and they're starting to go into a fight or flight mode.
Okay.
Now, if you keep a horse in that fight or flight mode for a long period of time, then they just start to tolerate things, and they're surviving. You know, they're figuring out a way to cope with it. But that's not